fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is XxRamblerxX. We are back with another Halo Custom Archive video for you today. Today we are covering an interesting custom creation that went by many different names such as Rocket Glitch, Rocket Trick, Rocket Tornado, Rocket Circle, Curving Rockets, Spinning Rockets, Rocket Ring, Rocket Fest, Rocket Festival, and Cluster.
You've got a dirty, whorish mouth. What you have.
But its most popular names that were used was the Ring of Fire or Ring of Rockets. The origin of this custom creation came from Halo 2. This is another first for the series here, as this is not a specific custom game or forged map or mod. This is actually a glitch or a trick or an exploit, whatever you want to call it. It was used for, amusement and entertainment when you were just messing around with friends in Halo 2 custom games. Players took advantage of the new mechanic that was introduced into Halo 2 with the rocket launcher's lock-on homing ability. What made this so popular in Halo 2 versus other Halo games to follow was that Halo 2, the rocket launcher could lock onto a wide variety of different targets, and the lock-on was infinite. And due to the rocket's turn rate at which it locked on and the speed at which it moved at, it would get stuck forever trying to reach its target and would remain in an infinite loop unless the object it was locked onto moved. This was pretty hard to pull off the bigger the party size got, but if you did this right and you could get it correct with 16 players doing this would be pretty epic and hilarious sight to see, with so many rockets going around making it look like a rocket NATO. Psst, don't give the directors of Sharknado any ideas. No! What you would do is you would start a custom game mode, which most people use this game mode called Glitch or Glitches, which I'll go in another video for on custom creations, and make it where it's free-for-all match with everyone having overshields on and everyone had energy swords and rocket launchers. The maps would be set to have only rocket launchers and rocket launcher ammo. Most players did this on Coagulation, where there was a really nice tall hill with no obstructions in the way, and would use a Warthog, as you could get 3 people in the Warthog to have some fun later on if you decided to drive off and have those rockets chase you. But you could do this with any other vehicle like Banshees, Wraiths, Spectres, Ghosts, Scorpions, and even turrets. Oh, fuck's sake! Since you didn't have a unlimited ammo option in Halo 2, you had to go around the map and fill up your rockets, before and during, the whole process of this. How you got it to work was you would have one player get into a vehicle or turret, oh, fuck's sake! And then lock on. While maintaining the lock-on, turn away and then fire your rockets about an inch or 2 off the target to intentionally miss the target. If done correctly, those rockets will be stuck in an infinite cycle chasing the target, but will never reach it. So you can see why 16 players would be pretty hectic, as it was prone to have mess-ups occur in the process with such a large group of people, and you would hear people be like, "I'm sorry, my bad, my mistake, mistakes were made."
I accept that responsibility.
And he's right, mistakes were made. And I'm frankly not happy about them.
No one is blameless here. It costs so much money to pay for these campaigns that mistakes were made here.
There may be a situation here in which a serious mistake was made.
Clearly mistakes were made.
There were mistakes made in Iraq for sure.
But if it goes well, it gets only better from there.
A great success!
After the rockets are locked on to a vehicle, people would love to just drive off and see if they can survive. Having the rockets chase after them, and you got one hell of an adrenaline rush like no other when you see dozens or more rockets just chasing you across the map.
Run, bitch! Run!
But if you were too slow or you messed up, they would totally wreck you.
Oh, no.
Besides the Warthog and other vehicles on Coagulation, you could do this trick with even Banshees on Ascension, on the Ascension bridge, and you could also even do this with the turrets.
Oh, fuck's sake!
On Sanctuary. This was both possible on the Xbox and PC version of Halo 2. For this custom creation, my initial research had me believe that this custom creation only existed in Halo 2 and completely died off, and other than a brief moment in Halo Reach, it would never be seen again.
Are you sure about that?
And I thought this was the reason due to the fact that they changed how the rocket launcher lock-on mechanic worked so much after Halo 2 and applied time limit to the rockets before they'd explode on their own once they were fired. And I only researched the two popular names it went by that I knew, but found out it went by other names less commonly known, so it actually turned out that I was wrong and had to redo everything for this video, but I'm glad to find out about this custom creation and how it actually survived.
Actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
Again, the reason it was not seen in Halo Combat Evolved was because the lock-on or homing ability didn't exist on the rocket launcher, which is why we didn't see it introduced in the first Halo game with people doing it. But though through modding, people did create several lock-on methods that do work, but I didn't see anyone attempt the Ring of Fire on any custom edition maps for this custom creation, but it may be possible. Though there was no real evolution of this, it was more like devolved abilities, people found ways to still make this custom creation survive. In Halo 3, the rocket launcher was changed to only lock onto air units, and the only way to lock onto ground vehicles was with a new weapon called the missile pod that was part of the support weapon class, where it slowed your movement when you were holding it, and you would have to drop the weapon if you wanted to switch to another weapon, and you could not refill the ammo. The missile pod support weapon would only be seen in Halo 3 and then never seen again. Bungie also put a time limit on how long the missiles and rocket projectiles would stay active, so you could not get that infinite lock on. But people still did this custom creation even with the limitations. They used Valhalla because it had the same kind of look with Coagulation, and it had a nice hill that you could use vehicles on to just park it, and you could use the missile pods. The name of the custom creation even changed from Ring of Rockets to Ring of Missiles for these instances when you use missiles. But now you could use the Ring of Fire on also other new vehicles that were introduced, like the Mongoose, and you could also use the rocket launcher still on the Banshee, and I believe it's still possible on the turrets.
Oh, fuck's sake!
I think it might have been possible, but I couldn't test it. And you could also do this on any other map. It wasn't just Valhalla, as it was made easier with the ability of forging. In Halo Reach, we do see this custom creation dip in popularity a little bit more due to further changes. No more missile pod support weapon, and instead you had to use the missile hog, which even though it meant unlimited rounds of missiles, but the missiles didn't last as long when they were fired, and you had to place the vehicle in just the right spot or else you'd mess this up. Both the rocket launcher and the missile warthog also could only lock on to air vehicles, and unless you could forge correctly for the Banshees to not move, otherwise it was quite hard to do this and not blow yourself up. So there was only one vehicle you could even do this with that gave you the best results, and that was the Falcon. Though even with this VTOL vehicle made to be a lot easier to adjust, it was still very tricky to get this to work. Not sure if this worked with turrets.
Oh, fuck's sake!
In Halo 4, there was no footage I could find on this at all anywhere I looked for it, any information on it, but I was not ready to write this off that it was not possible, so I got on with a second controller and took some time, getting used to the Halo 4's forging, but got a good setup and ran it. As you can see, it works. I believe you could do this also with the Missile Hog and the Mantis to do this as well, that I believe had lock-on capabilities as well, but I couldn't find any videos of that, and I didn't get around to testing that out, so I didn't have any video proof of this, but I believe it's just as possible. Also, not sure if this worked on turrets.
Oh, fuck's sake!
Unfortunately, the rockets didn't last long, or they crashed into obstacles, but it proved that the custom creation was still possible.
High five! Great!
But the popularity completely died out for this custom creation. In Halo 2 Anniversary, this custom creation would get a rebirth where we would see it was possible to be done with vehicles on the map Bloodline, which was an evolved version of Coagulation, but there was some need to use some help with forging to get this to work with some better results. They made it so you can lock onto both land and air vehicles like the classic days.
Suits
Very nice. How much?
They even had the Halo 3 Hornet brought into Halo 2 Anniversary with that VTOL capability that would make this a lot easier. The turrets are also possible, but you would have to forge it, as it constantly hit other objects on Shrine, which is just the evolved version of Sanctuary when I tried this. In Halo 5, it was done as well with rockets and a Banshee using a forged map to get this to work. Problem, like other games though, was that the rockets didn't last long. Not sure if this worked on turrets. And I'm not sure if this worked on other different versions of rocket launchers, or if this worked with any of the versions of the Hydras or the Mantis and Missile Hogs. And though I don't have any footage of this, I believe you could also, do the weapon pad combo glitch and actually do some crazy stuff with like having a ton of rockets lock on and fire it off like a machine gun. That would be pretty cool if someone can do something like that. If that ever happens, I would love to add that in a part 2 or something. But yeah, that's it for Halo 5. I couldn't find any footage of this on Halo Online, but I mean, it's just basically Halo 3 on PC for the most part, with some basic physics and abilities, with some added features from Halo Reach and Halo 4. So I'm pretty sure it's possible to do, but I don't know how to get 2 players set up on there, or if there's a way to get friends to get this to work, because all you have is like really a server browser, and you can't really guarantee if anyone's going to work with you on that to try and do that for the fun of it. So for this custom creation, the identity of the creator who founded and started the Ring of Fire trick that has been going around for this long is currently unknown, but I and others got a lot of enjoyment from this custom creation. So for this custom creation, I decided to give it the Gold Award. Since its inception in Halo 2, it survived all the way till now, so it's still, got that, popularity to it a bit, but it's not really as high as it used to be back in the days of Halo 2. I think Halo 2, the reason why it was the best was because you just had that ability to lock on forever and the rockets never exploded. The only downsides there were that you had to constantly refill ammo because there was no unlimited ammo. But Halo 3 and onward, there were limitations on how you could lock on, and it held back its evolution and either just made it, just exist, but it was totally devolved or just stagnant. But like I said, with the Halo 5 weapon pad glitch, if you could do something like that where you can make a weapon combo of like a machine gun, rocket launchers, and lock on and do something crazy like that, that'd be pretty cool to see. But other than that, this custom creation did still stay stagnant even though it was really popular. And also the other limitations were that you couldn't have large parties, or this would mess up a lot, so you only had to do with like a limited size.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
So it had some good and bad to it, so both positive and negative, but it was still fun when everything went right.
Everything that has transpired has done so according to my design.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy watching my videos, then make sure to turn on notifications to get updates on this channel for new Halo Custom Archive videos. Check in the video description for more information. Also, if you have any suggestions for other custom creations that I should cover, like custom games, mods, maps, and so on, then make sure to message me and even join my Halo Custom Archive Discord. I would love to hear them. Again, my name is XxRamblerxX, and you all have a great day. See you later.